Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Queen Bina Combos podcast. Today I want to talk about 7 ways that I know that my aesthetic slash skincare business was spiritually attacked. So if you are completely new to me, I am a licensed esthetician. I still own the BK Beauty Spa entity, but I am no longer running the business as of right now. I closed the business in like 2024, right before I moved to Texas. And like I said, it was spiritually attacked. But the intentions of this podcast episode is not to point fingers at anybody. It is just to make other beauty business owners and other entrepreneurs, period, aware of the ways that people can play with your business in the spirit realm. Business is absolutely spiritual, just like life is spiritual. And some people like to throw rocks and hide their hands. But like I said, the intentions of this video is to bring awareness and not to point fingers. So work with me. I'm going to try my hardest to keep it in that aspect. But if you are wanting to know the physical realm aspect of my business failing, I do have another YouTube channel. I will link it down in the description, and you can head over there after you listen to this episode, of course, and watch that video as well. So before we get started, I do want to let you all know that I was extremely sleep at the beginning of me starting and running this business, and I was just starting to wake up a little bit, like right at the end of it, but I was not expecting like this. I hadn't gotten this far into my journey. So while all this was going on, I was still unaware. Yeah, let's just get right into it. So these are 7 signs that let me know that my business was being spiritually attacked. The first sign is stagnation. And when I say stagnation, y'all, I mean it seemed like things were just coming to a halt. I grew the Instagram page to 8,000 followers and I could not get past 8,000 followers. I grew the Facebook page. I think it was like maybe at 2,000 followers, somewhere up in there. I could not get that page past 2,000 followers. And I don't even think that I was really like paying attention to the Facebook page as much. It was really Instagram, because Instagram is what was bringing in the majority of my clientele and sales. So, but I just could not. When I say I was taking all the IG courses, I was doing all of the things, the hashtags, the shout outs, the paying the influencers, y'all. I was doing all of the things and I could not grow that page past 8,000 followers. There was also at the end a stagnation in the amount of new clients that I was attracting. Everything just started to stagnate. The online sales started stagnating. Everything just started stagnating. And if you don't know what stagnation means, it means that it just pretty much was coming to a halt. I had grew to a certain point and I couldn't grow past that point no matter what I did. I also was running ads with Google, with other ad search engine services. I had some services, not all, up on Groupon. When I say I was putting my best foot forward, I was putting my best foot forward. And at the end of, not at the end, but like probably maybe like a year. It took me a while to accept it, y'all. So probably for like a year, I was really going hard trying to get over what felt like to me was a hump. So, anywho, y'all, it's still a little bit of a sore spot for me. So work with me. The second sign that made me realize that my business was being spiritually attacked was regression. So right after the stagnation came the regression. Despite all of the things that I was trying to do, it seemed like I started losing followers. I started losing clientele. The profits were, I mean, y'all, everything started to reverse. So it was like I was going, growing, and then the stagnation came And then it was like everything started going in the other direction when it came to acquiring new clients, when it came to acquiring new customers online for the products that I was selling. Everything, it just regressed. And y'all, like I said, it's still a little bit of a sore spot, but let's just keep going. So the third sign was, and this one is a big one, y'all. Like those first two things can definitely be 3D things. Like that could definitely be, just straight up physical 3D facts, or whatever you call it, that can happen. This next one, the third sign that let me know like I was being spiritually attacked. I didn't know at the time. At the time, I was doubting myself. I was thinking that it was me. It's something that I was doing wrong. Like it had to have been something that was going on with me. I didn't figure this out until I was able to close the business, move, step away from everything, and look at things from a different perspective. So that third sign is the fact that at the end, maybe like the last 3 to 4 months, every single week, and every single week, at the end of every week, after it was all said and done, I would have that same number in the business bank account, which was only $160, y'all. $160. Like it seemed like every bit of money that I was making, it was having to go right back out. And I promise y'all, it took me about maybe a good month to realize it. But at the end of every week, the business bank account would only have $160 something. It may have been maybe 162 one week, or the next week it would be like 164. But I just remember that one in that six, y'all, when I tell you, every single week up until I finally just let it go, I was ending on the same number. That is a huge sign that your business is being spiritually attacked. Like if it doesn't have to be a small number like that, but it could be a big number. But if you're ending on the same number constantly, then 9 times out of 10, your business is being spiritually attacked. The next sign that your business, or that my business was being spiritually attacked, was the fact that I lost all support. So by this time, I had lost all of my team members. I had to either fire them, let them go. I had no support at all. So I had lost all the people that I was employing, and also it was like friends and family they already weren't supporting very much in the first place, but it was literally in the end just me. It felt like it was just me standing in a pile of ruin, trying to put the pieces back together. Like all support had went out of the window. So the fifth sign that my business was being spiritually attacked was the fact that this girl had ordered some post wax care products from me. These were pretty popular products. These products would take me through, y'all. Like if the services had went down, I could always count on the product sales. These were products that I made by hand with ingredients that were definitely intimate skin safe, which like I said, if you're completely new to me, then you don't know. But if you're not completely new to me, then I basically did Brazilian waxing. That was like my money maker. I did body waxing, period, but Brazilian waxing was my money maker. So these post wax care products were definitely a big money maker for me too, because they worked. They were good. Like I still stand behind those products. And so this girl had ordered some from me. And one thing that I did not play about was getting stuff out in the mail. So like, I ain't gonna say that I'm Amazon, but Amazon has made it to where now you have to basically ship stuff the same day. So as soon as I got that order, which the orders had slowed down. So I didn't even have I think it was actually the only order. Like I think when the order came through, I was shocked, to be honest. Like I was so stressed out about everything that was going on in my life at the time, because because the business is not the only thing. It was a lot of things going on. But when that order came through, I remember being shocked about it. And I got the package, the order, I put it in the mail, and she ended up like texting me or DMing me on Instagram, and she was like, "Hey, I ordered whatever, whatever, and I haven't gotten it yet." And I'm like, I sent it. I have the tracking number, everything, and I'm like, let me see what's going on. So I checked the tracking info, and apparently it had gone to some place wrong or something, and they were supposed to had been sending it back. And so I let her know that I apologized. And I'm thinking that, because of course I use the location, my shop's location, as the return address. I never put my home address on anything. Like, don't get me wrong, I was asleep, but I wasn't asleep. I didn't want people knowing where I lived. So I never put my home address on anything. So I knew that the product was supposed to have been coming back like the tracking info said. But when I got to the shop, the next maybe 2 to 3 days, 3 or 4 days that I was waiting on that product to come back, it never came back. So, and I didn't even put insurance on it or anything. So I just told the girl to come, and since it hadn't came back and I didn't know what was going on with it, I asked her if she was local. So well, I guess it's thank goodness that she was local. I just said, if you can just come up here to the spa, and I'll give you these, and I'll just throw you a little extra in for the inconvenience. And so when she got there, she was telling me that, I was telling her, like, you can get a free wax if you want, or whatever free service, for the inconvenience. I'm trying to give the good customer service, and she was like, oh no, I go to another waxer, she's out of her product. And so she just told me about your product. So I just decided to just order from you, which was, at the time, I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, oh, that's okay. Thank you. That tell her I said, thank you for recommending me or whatever. I'm thinking it's all good. I didn't think until afterwards, like, that girl made her own stuff too. Like, and had never, like, she was waxing before me. Like I said, this is not pointing the fingers type of thing, but yeah, just know that other waxers will sabotage you. Like, I'm sure probably some of her other clients was probably ordering my product. Like I said, I stand behind it, honey. You know how Frank Lucas or Denzel Washington, when he was playing Frank Lucas, and he said, I guarantee it, I stand behind it, when he was talking about Blue Magic. Yeah, that's how I felt about my post wax care products. And at the time, like I said, y'all, I was asleep, so I didn't think that other waxers were even taking notice of anything that I was doing. I didn't think other estheticians was worried about me, because I wasn't worried about them. And when I say, like, I literally kept my eyes on my own paper and on my own plate, I was not in competition with anybody. As a matter of fact, I would be recommending my clients to them. Like, if I was going on vacation or something, or if my ex-husband was on his bull and he wanted me to counsel everybody or whatever, I would recommend other waxers that I knew of to my clients. Like, hey, if you want to, you can go to this girl here. She's good. She's waxed me before. I'm thinking that, y'all, I was so asleep. I never thought that the girls would be on it the way that they was. Okay, like I said, this is not to point fingers, but yeah, she had her client order products from me. And if you really just want to get down when it comes to the spirituality, that's what they need. They need something with your logo on there. They need something that you've put your energy into. It'll make the work stronger if they have something of yours. And the way that just happened, it seems like it was protection. The way the package got rerouted, seems like she wasn't supposed to get it. And then me with my I want to have the best customer service around. Like, I should have just canceled the order. I know better now, but at the time, it was like, girl, just come up here, just come get it, and then you can get this and that, and I'm gonna throw in some extras for you. And my spirit team probably was like, this probably was throwing stuff. Like, I can laugh about it now, but it's like, even though it's still like a little bit of a sore spot, I can laugh about it. So, But it's not funny, but it, like, you just have to, life is an experience, y'all. So I know better now. And I'm not saying, if something like that happens in your business, to just completely ignore it or whatever. But if it has never happened before, like USPS been around since the beginning of the indoctrination of this country, honey. They ain't making them type of mistakes. And I had been running that business and sending out packages for 8 years. 8 years. And before I even started that business, I used to do reselling on like eBay and whatever platform was available at the time. That had never happened. If somebody did do a return, which I only got like maybe 2 to 3 at that time when I was doing the reselling, it came back to the address that it was supposed to come back to. There was never no rerouting. If it was, when I shipped it, it went to their address, and if they were sending it back, it came back to me. That had never happened before. But when you're in a sleep state, you don't think about that, especially when, not only when you're in a sleep state, but when you're in a sleep state and you're going through everything that I was going through. Like, my business was crashing, which means the personal finances were jacked. My ex-husband was in prison, and his child's mother was on her. Like, it, when I say, y'all, it was a cluster fuck. It was a clusterfuck. So I just was thinking, like, I don't want to send the money back, to be honest. Like, it was like, girl, come up here, I'm gonna replace your product and you can get I can give you some samples of some other products, because I did bath and body products too. So it wasn't just the post wax care products. Like, I had an array of products that I was selling outside of just doing services, as any solo esthetician should. Bottom line, that reroute was a sign that my business was being spiritually attacked. So, like I said, I'm not saying to not refund somebody their money, or not to investigate or whatever. But if you see a reroute happen, 9 times out of 10, you probably should just cancel the order. Like, and if it happens and it had never happened to you before, like it has never happened before, just cancel the order, send them their money back. Sometimes in business, you just have to take losses. So sign number 6 that my business was being spiritually attacked is the fact that I had lost all passion and creativity for the business. And y'all, when I say, like I said in the video that I did on my other channel, that business was my baby. Like, that business was my world. And the fact that I had lost passion and the creativity for it, that should have been a huge red flag. But I think at the time I was just charging it to the fact that it had become so stressful to me. But I did basically everything, which I kind of was used to, because before I hired employees, I was a solo esthetician. I was doing everything. I was used to doing the marketing. I was used to updating the website. I made the website. I updated the website. Like, so that's what I mean when I say the creativity. So the marketing part of it, I had lost all creativity. And then everything else of it, I had lost all passion towards it. So much so to the point where I was showing up late, and I didn't even open up till 11. I opened at 11, like right before noon. I was showing up late. I would be frustrated. I was leaving at 3, so I'm only spending that's about 4 or 5 hours. Like, it had got bad. I had completely lost passion, and my creativity was on 0%. That is a huge sign that you and the business pretty much is being spiritually attacked. Sign number 7. Clients were asking me questions about stuff that they should not have known about. The monitoring spirits, honey. When I say, at the time, I didn't know what it was. Like I said, I started to kind of become a little bit aware at the end of what was going on. So I think the last person she asked me a question about my personal housing situation, and I hadn't discussed that with nobody. I hadn't discussed that with nobody. And so when she asked me that, and at this point, with everything that was going on and me starting to realize that this was more than just me, like this was being done, this was like I was being spiritually attacked and I didn't know what to do or how to, deal with that. And when she asked me that, like I didn't go off. I was still in professional business mode, but I pretty much was like, who told you that? Like the attitude was there. It pretty much was like, girl, yeah, I'm on edge. Like that's how I was like, what? Like I never said that. And I, at that point I had knew enough to know when you realize you talking to a monitoring spirit, lie, cross your fingers, ask for forgiveness later. But I knew enough to do that. Like I was like, I ain't even told you nothing like that. So call them out and then lie. I was like, I never said I was moving. I never said any of that. I don't know what you're talking about. And when I say I didn't even talk to her no more after that, she never came back. And I'm talking about during the service. Usually during the services, I am happy, go lucky. I'm cracking jokes. Me and the client are having our, client service provider banter back and forth. We're gossiping. We're talking about the guys or relationships, things that was going on around the city. Like we really be in there having our little time. Like, and when she did that, I didn't have nothing else to say to her except for cash or card or cash. That was it. And now even because she was young, so I'm not upset with her. Like I know now that it was the spirit that was operating her. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not mad at her at all, and wouldn't even be mean or mad to her if I was to see her in public. I would probably speak. I would speak, but I wouldn't hold a conversation with her. Like, but I would speak, and just to let her know that I'm not angry with her. But that day I had reached my wits end when, but she's not even it was so weird, y'all. Like another client, her boyfriend came in, like the girl seemed like she was just completely out of it. This was a different client. She seemed like she was just completely out of it. She was laughing weirdly and nothing had been said. No jokes had been cracked. She was just weirdly laughing. And then her boyfriend came in and asked if he could use the bathroom. Now, at this point, I was renting a suite and the salon space was very small. So I could hear that he had taken the thing off of the back of the toilet. I could hear that he was doing more than just using the bathroom. I could hear him. And so when he came out of the bathroom, I opened up the door and I was like, yeah, your show was loud in that bathroom. Like I'm letting them know at this point, anybody that did something out of the ordinary, I'm letting them know, like I peeped it. I synced you. What's going on? And so I finished with her service and him and her left out. And then I guess they went out there and told, it was an older lady that was with them. I don't know if it was her grandma or his grandma or either of their grandmas, but it was an older lady. And she came back in after they, I think it was about maybe 5 to 10 minutes. She came in and it was like she was looking at me and she was like, hi, I just wanted to know how much you charge for facials. And at that time, I was not offering facials. And so I just let her know, like, I'm not offering facials. And she was like, is it okay well, is it okay if I use your bathroom? Fine. So I'm guessing she went in there to retrieve whatever that boy had left in there. I don't know. But the girl had an appointment like the week before that, and she had to cancel because on her way up there, she had a wreck. And I promise y'all, it was maybe like 6 or 7 clients that had to cancel appointments because they had a wreck on their way up there. Like, I mean, if that's not a sign. So it was the fact that not only am I being spiritually attacked, but people are being sent in at me, like it just was so, and, maybe 2 or 3 of them they was just apologizing, but, they hadn't really said anything or done anything. And I was trying to be nice because, the people that I didn't suspect, but they just was kept apologizing and giving me excuses about stuff. One girl was like, I'm really, really sorry. My boyfriend broke somebody's boat or something like that, and he owes them money. And I'm so sorry. And I'm thinking in my head, like, why are you apologizing to me? I ain't got no boat. He ain't broke nothing of mine, but after the fact, I'm like, I'm guessing, they probably thought I was suspecting them because they work in groups. So I'm guessing the other girls was telling them like, she knows. And I guess they call themselves apologizing, but it just was, that was the most painful part of it all. Like, people were actually coming in there and pretending to support the business, pretending to be in support of me, when in all actuality, they were just coming in there to monitor, to gather information, and to leave items or whatever they do. Because I don't I don't participate. I don't that is, baby, I have never been the throw rocks and hide your hand type of girl. I'm straight head up. If I have an issue with you, if I don't like you, if you have done something to somebody that in a group that I'm in, which I don't group up with folks, but to my friend or something, I'm straight up at you. Like, I don't throw rocks and hide my hand. I think that is the weakest thing ever. And I'm guessing that's why ain't none of these groups ever recruited me. Cause baby, what? I don't even play games like that. It's head up. You did this. You got me fucked up. Like, I'm not doing like, so I don't know what they be doing. I don't know what they be doing. I know, from what I've heard, they leave items around in your space and all that mess. So that was the most hurtful part of it all, is the fact that once I started realizing that you really can't trust people, that people really can be bought, that people really have prices, people really will do messed up stuff to other people for it. Other people be asleep too. Like, just because they practice witchcraft and they are part of these groups and stuff like that, they be just asleep. Like, and the people that be high up in them groups, they know it. They know that them people are easily controlled, easily can be told anything. They're not gonna go and try to research and find the answers on their own. So, these are the things that I tell myself so that I can forgive these people. Because at the end of the day, just like I can take accountability, so can they. Which is why I said it, at the beginning, this is not a pointing fingers type of episode. This is an episode that I am just trying to make other solo estheticians and entrepreneurs aware that business is spiritual. There is a such thing as commerce magic, and people are out here throwing it. They are out here throwing it. And if you don't have your business covered in some kind of way, it can be affected. And like I said, I was asleep. I wasn't praying over my business. The Most High wasn't at the head of my business. I really thought I was just running and doing the dang on thing all by myself. It was all me. Like, I had grew, and y'all, I'm not even gonna lie. I was making money. Like, before, everything went to where it went. I wasn't really, like I said, you have to go watch the other video, but I didn't have to budget because I was making money hand over fist. You understand me? Like, at the end of the week, I could pay whatever bills needed to be paid, and I could still go in and do, what the girls be doing. I'm ordering Fashion Nova. I'm all out in the streets. I'm shopping. I'm getting my kids stuff. Like, just living the IG girl life, sad as that is. It's really sad. And I learned my lesson. I learned a hell of a lesson. I remember back when I very first started, I used to follow a lady. It's Queendom Aesthetics. I don't remember her name, but I remember the name of her business was Queendom Aesthetics. I took a few of her classes too. But I remember when she got her first building in New Orleans, she was saging the building before she moved in. I think she had already painted, but before she moved in any furniture or anything like that, she was saging the building. She had took a video of herself and posted it saging the building. And I just thought that was so weird. I was like, why would you do that? Like, sage stinks. Like, I bet it stinks now that you sage just probably got all in the walls and stuff. And now I understand more than ever. And you don't even have to believe in spirituality. Just make sure that if you're running a business, you cover it. However you cover yourself spiritually, cover your business spiritually as well. And what I really should have, the very first sign was, when I very first went to esthetician school, my grandma, my maternal grandmother, called my phone and asked me, why are you doing that? You're not going to make any money doing that. Like, she literally spoke a word curse over my business. before I even got a chance to even get off the ground good, but I still hit the ground and took off. So I ain't, that's neither here nor there. Like I said, I take full accountability because I did not have my business covered spiritually at all. And I also was idolizing it. I did idolize it a little bit. Or, yeah, it was a little bit. I think it was a little bit. I think I was idolizing the business and the marriage and the man. Like, so that can have a lot to do with it too. The fact that I had idolized it and I did not cover it spiritually at all because I spiritual ignorance, man. And that's another thing. Like the fact that they throw rocks, they hide their hand, and they be counting on people to be ignorant. Like they be counting on people's like it's so. I have never. It's such coward behavior. It is coward behavior. Like somebody don't know nothing about that and you still throw something at them. It's almost like your karma is going to be 10 times worse. Like that makes you, like I said, six to seven, maybe 5 to 7 girls on their way up there was getting into car wrecks. I'm talking about straight up losing vehicles. Like probably putting kids in danger and everything. But like I said, I'm not too mad because they be asleep too. They think that they know more. They think they got one up on a person because they know a little bit more, whatever the people at the top of them groups that they didn't join have told them. But the thing is, they never once went to go and see on their own. The Bible says, seek and ye shall find. They are lazy. They don't never say, let me go and check this information that you have just given me and see if this is correct. Let me see if there are any other consequences that can come with this. No, they just hear, if you can bring this person down, we can give you a level up in the group. Like, it's so sad. It is so sad, but my heart is so soft. It's like, not soft to a point where I would ever, befriend these people or anybody that I knew for a fact was just being a monitoring spirit. If I was to restart the business, would allow them to come back, because the answer would absolutely be no. Immediately blocked off of my booking site, blocked off of my phone. Like, you will never come back, step foot over my threshold. But it's like, I can understand because they were ignorant and got tricked too, pretty much. Like, even though they was the ones that was gathering the information or throwing the work or leaving the items or whatever, they pretty much got tricked too. Hence why they was in there. I'm so sorry. Oh, my boyfriend broke a boat and he owes money and I just love him so much. And, whatever. Like, and some of them, to be honest, like the ones, it was maybe three to four that were laughing uncontrollably and out of turn. There was no jokes told. Nothing was funny. That was kind of, I hope they're okay. Like, I really do hope they're okay. I wouldn't talk to them no more. I don't, I'm not going to go look, but I hope that they're okay. That was kind of weird. That was seeming like it was more to it. Like, y'all, it was a crazy situation. It's still a sore spot, but hopefully, it brought awareness. If you have a business and you're going through something similar, you're doing all of the things and things are still going left, this gave you some type of insight. And yeah, let me get off of here because I'm getting emotional. Until next time.